There are few frontiers left in this world. Most places that you go, you're surrounded by rules, regulations, and prescribed safety. Most places. For those that choose adventure over vacation, challenges over rewards, who want to see the unseen and touch the untouched, Mongolia, with a history of fearless exploration and expansive freedom like no other, serves as the perfect backdrop for a true expedition. 10 men from different places, lives, and experiences, all with one commonality: a willingness to endure, experience, and take risk to fill that very thirst for adventure.
Mongolia is just huge. I mean, Big Sky, Montana? No. Mongolia is massive, and it just goes. Like you see the horizon, you're like, God, I gotta go all the way there. And you get there, and there's a new horizon. You gotta go all the way there. And that happens about 10 times during the day, and you're exhausted, but it's a great ride. I mean, what an amazing journey.
Definitely the wildest place I've ever been in my life. It's wide open, just going full throttle across these open, rolling hills, and not know where you're gonna camp at night, not know where you're gonna get food, fuel, water. Like it just kind of ramps up that excitement, adventure level that much more.
Yeah, it's just the terrain in Mongolia changes so rapidly, and it's so diverse. Literally a little bit of everything.
The riding's been awesome. It's been sections of really challenging sand, some technical riding. We've gone through the highland steppes, through the grasslands. We're kind of entering into the desert, as you guys can see. We're riding in all kinds of different obstacles and different terrains. Touch base with me on that question when we get into the dunes, because that's going to be a game changer.
The sunset was coming down well for a moment in time, and we're all together in the sand dunes and desert riding together. That's one of my favourite moments.
My name is Moses Horner. I was born in California, did a stint in Nebraska, and I currently live in Colorado. You go through waves during the day where you're like, I don't know if I can make it. Like, shit, this is exhausting, because you're constantly thinking, refocusing, and trying not to go down.
That spark that always keeps you, like, it's a challenge. This is like next level.
My chain snapped in half and catastrophically destroyed my clutch slave cylinder, which is a showstopper.
Bent front rims, flat rear tires, clutches that are intermittently working, fuel issues.
Oil. So there's been burning oil. So basically sounded like
road is tough here, Some places are very rocky, freezing cold, so a lot of repairs.
Sketchy. It's kind of scary. When your front tire blows out at speed, it's scary. If your chain falls off, it can chuck you over the bar. So that stuff was a stressor.
I do always get a bit concerned when we do have a few accidents. Obviously, I don't want anyone to get any breaks.
Yeah, like I've thought like, oh shit, I'm going down in Mongolia and I'm not gonna be able to get back on the bike and finish the trip out, and that's gonna suck. The bike and me had already gone down, and my right leg was caught underneath the bike, and it drugged me for about like 30 feet. Twisted my ankle up, twisted my knee up, busted my knee and my ankle up pretty good. I had like a concussion, I couldn't see. I thought I ripped a muscle. The bike lands, the front tire digs into the sand. I go over the handlebars rolling.
My front wheel hit it, it just dug in, and I pretty much Supermaned over my handlebars and face planted into the sand, and it's just like, ugh, chest buried in the sand, floor of sand and carnage. It was definitely a pretty hard hit. I slid all the way over to there.
Any last words? Don't get hurt.
Don't get hurt.
Don't fuck the trip up for everyone by getting hurt.
You found that, so
Hey Jordan, you want to do rib pressures and see if he has any crinkly crackling? Ribs? Okay. Any cracking or popping or grinding or Rice Krispie sound? When in far away places, don't have too much fun because it will bite you. So we'll see what's going on. Right now Moses had a big off, and he's got a flat front, bent rim, chain guards crunched for the bike. But more concerning is he's got some rib pain, which could be a fractured rib. He says he's got a little bit of cracking in the back. See how it plays out.
Mobile Rescue Member Services, Janine here. How can I help you?
I'm calling because we're riding motorbikes on the edge of the Gobi Desert here, and we had a rider go down, and he crushed or cracked his ribs. He went over the bike, slammed into the dirt. He was in a lot of pain at the time on site. We managed to get him into the support vehicle. This was yesterday. This morning, he's having a lot of trouble breathing, and we suspect he might have a collapsed lung. Moses is in pretty rough condition, so if we have a better option, potentially a chopper to come in here, then we'll take that.
We had to say goodbye to Moses today. He needed to get back to Ulaanbaatar to get proper care. It looks like something's going on with his breathing. Thinking he might have had a collapsed lung or a punctured lung or something like that. So I feel bummed that he can't be here for the rest of it, but relieved at the same time that he got transport back safely to Ulaanbaatar. He could get proper care there.
Yeah. I mean, when Moses went down due to a blown out front tire, that was pretty scary. Just knowing where we were and how hard it is to get to medical service is pretty spooky. And kind of learning that you can't just get a helicopter to come swoop you up whenever you want is a pretty scary thought. We all kind of put this faith in the systems and the insurance and the satellite communicators and all that stuff, but you got to remember at the end of the day, you might be on your own.
See what the CAT scan results are, and who knows, maybe he'll stick around. We get to see him at the end of the trip.
A challenge is a challenge, and I've always been like looking for it, and that day was something different.
Probably the worst day.
We thought we were SOL, but
What's SOL?
shit out of luck.
The day we almost died.
It was one of those days where everything started off kind of normal.
So we're riding up this mountain, and we see these storm clouds the storm clouds are starting to billow and come in. The wind is picking up more and more, and we're like, it's all right, we only have a little ways to go to reach our campsite. even though our campsite's going to be misery because of all the wind and cold. So we're trudge on, we're going over this technical mud, and we had just gone through a bunch of river crossings and doused ourselves, which probably wasn't the smartest thing to do because now it was freezing and we were all soaking wet. So I'm soaking wet and I'm going up this super rocky incline, and then Sean's bike breaks.
Just nothing. I let off the clutch and nothing happens. It's just screaming, and the clutch is probably burned out.
We're down to our last backup bike.
I'm like, crap, what are we gonna do? And these clouds just come billowing over the top of the mountain. Just dark, nasty clouds. The wind's kicking up. It's freezing cold, and I'm like starting to shiver, like verbally on my bike. And I'm like, okay, we can figure this out. And then Eric's bike dies.
Up there, we have a second broken bike that has a crack. Something.
Eric's radiator busted within a few minutes later, and we thought we're
gonna die. And there's a couple of like yurts right over there, right over on the hillside, and family kind of comes out and they're waving us over, so we trudge over there. We're all just soaking wet, and they're like, come inside. So we go inside, and we're like, is this okay? We're dripping all over, there's mud everywhere, and they're like, sit. So then we sat down and had some goat's milk tea. Yak milk tea, and it was amazing. It was like you sip it and it just warmed all of your insides, and I was like, all right, this is the best day.
Premium. Tastes super good.
Yak yogurt.
Out of this bucket in a gur in Mongolia.
So, riding motorbikes across Mongolia, we got caught in some bad weather, some really cold weather, some really bad roads, a lot of mud. Got stranded, and this family took us in, so I'm staying in that yurt tonight. Not a bad gig. Anyways, let's go.
We got rescued by a local family because we were so cold we couldn't make it a step further and our bikes broke down.
This family of people that lived in some gurs, like literally like 200 yards away, came over and told us we could stay there, and it was a very fortunate place to break down. And they put us up for the night, and then never been more thankful for a place to stay, I think, because it was a challenging day.
I came from a pretty rough place personally. Like my marriage kind of imploded, so I had lost track of who I was as a person and what my interests were.
As I needed challenge in my life, and without it, I wasn't going to be happy.
I came across Freshline, and it really just it's just a fresh start for my life. Freshline's helping me launch that fresh start.
These type of trips are very challenging. They're hard. You really find out what you're capable of.
Anyone can find trials and tribulations and hassle, but to have a tribe to overcome them with is the biggest part. It's a lot to get 10 guys to do something like this.
Good values, giving back, honesty, passion, teamwork.
A community, commonality of guys that want to see the world through a different lens, just out of the merry-go-round or the hamster wheel of the work, family, rinse, repeat.
It's about the challenge. It's about the companionship, the friendship that comes with it.
Realize that these relationships mean a ton to me because relationships are what has kept me going.
I always go home a healthier version of myself, a little more fulfilled, and this trip has been no different. So yeah, really excited about where we're going, what we're developing, and yeah, excited to take on the next one.